Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Mets Talk Unfiltered episode 8, I believe. Your Mets
Hey,
cards recap on this glorious weekend, on this holiday weekend. And before we get into all the fun that we've had this weekend, as our Mets have had a perfect weekend at home, let's do the right thing. Eddie, what do you say? And let's wish everybody a happy Easter.
happy Easter to everybody. So happy that you guys could join us. I know you could be with your families or you could be anywhere else. I know WrestleMania is going on, but we appreciate you guys here with us. That's all I have to say, man. Let's fucking go Mets, baby.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can't leave out Passover. So happy Passover to
All
all that
right.
applies
I'm
to as
so
well.
sorry about that.
No, 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 nothing to be sorry about. Nothing to be sorry about. We're gonna do it step by step, give everybody their due. So happy Passover to everyone that applies. And what is it? Earth Day 420, all that good stuff. So happy
To
420
those who celebrate.
to those that celebrate. Nephews, cover your eyes as we're doing our celebrating. We're kidding. We're kidding. The nephews know what's going on. It is what it is. Um, yeah, man. But like I said, it's been a very fun weekend, huh, Eddie?
Bro, couldn't be better. Honestly. I said, yo, win this series, get 3-1, but the sweep for the Mets to go out, sweep the way they did in the fashion that they did, bro, I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier right now. And again, I bring this up all the time. I don't see a flaw in this team, Hector. And I'm a big nitpicker. I'm very negative a lot of times. I swear to you, there's not much to be said about this team bad. There's not much you could say that's bad about this team. Not much, Hector. I have very
No,
little complaints.
no, no, no. You're right, and I think you nailed it right there when you said we can nitpick. So we can nitpick on a few things, right? We've been nitpicking, at least some of us. I think I was the first one, and then you joined in, and then Sal joined in on the fan, and
Yep.
and everybody nitpicked on the fact that Soto wasn't hitting for power. We wanted to see power, but we still recognize like, listen, it's early. He's getting on base, all that good stuff. But no, you're right, man. There is nothing. We can nitpick like you did a little bit, and I joined in there with you on Jose Buto, and we saw him again today give up a run, at least an inherited run, right? So we
Yes.
can nitpick on a few things, but overall, no, you're right. I told someone to like, I'm so confident in this team. I feel so good about this team right now. I can't even explain it, and sometimes you feel that way and you're nervous, right? Like, nah, this can't be real. But no, not with these guys. Not with these guys. I feel great.
Yeah, man. Yo, again, what did Budo give up? Did he give up a run today? It wasn't an earned run, though, right?
Let me double check if that was earned on him or not. I know, no, I think they were both inherited.
Okay. All right. So that's fine.
But let me just double check. Jose Buto, yeah, nothing earned. It was Danny Young's run. You
Okay.
know you want to see him again. You want to nitpick. We would like to see him get the hold there, especially because yes, it wasn't his run, but more often than not, when you bring him in a situation, it's a tough task and it's tough to ask of a guy to be perfect. But we want you to shut it down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Today we had some wiggle room or whatever the case may be, and
No, that
again,
was all because of the ninth inning, because of Soto's big 3-run. What was it? A double
right?
here? Big
Yes,
3-1 double by him. So look, man. Again, this team is they're playing well. They're playing well. Again, very little nitpick. We had a walk off home run by Lindor. I mean, what else? There's not much else you could ask for, brother.
right, and that was let's do that. Let's go back to that because that was Friday night, right? Or Thursday night. That was the first game of the series,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? Let's see here. Let me just double check. No, that was actually game two. But if we go back to the first game of the series where the Mets won 4-1, and it was like a pretty easy game. And yeah, Lindor hit the walk off there, but he did do a play that stood out. And it's not anything that we haven't seen before, but he showed the awareness to know what the hell was going on. But the game started with the Mark Vientos home run there in the bottom of the
Right.
second. You
Where
know what I'm
where he
saying?
went opposite
Off the
field.
off the foul pole, opposite
Yes,
field.
yes.
he
Oh,
barely,
did it hit the foul pole or it was just right? I thought it was like right next to it.
it hit like right at the bottom of where the pole is. Yeah, so it didn't hit like the pole itself, but it hit like the base of the pole. Like it just snuck in there. But he got the scorer started there in that bottom of the second inning, and we see Brett Beatty
Yeah. Even he's had a nice series.
Yeah, so he drove in a run there, and also in that bottom of the second inning, as Marte scored, and then that's when we saw Francisco Lindor get his single, and that drove in Beatty,
Yep.
and then he gets caught up halfway between first and second, and again showed the awareness to. And listen, maybe Taylor would have done it anyways. The third base coach would have sent him, but we're gonna give Lindor the credit for also being aware and making sure that he stayed into that rundown too. He had to
Yeah.
make a couple of
That
good
was
moves
great.
there. Yeah, he made a couple of good moves there, stayed in the rundown. We got that fourth run, and that was it. That was pretty much it. As Canning was phenomenal. He gave up the run. Let's see there. He gave up the run in the top of the third, but other than that, he was great. Got through 6 innings,
I'm a
and
big
some
fan of his, Hector. I'm a big fan of Canning. I really am.
right, yeah. And what have we been talking about as far as the starting pitching, right? We got to start pushing these guys. We got to start pushing these guys.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the first guy that I guess that caused a little controversy or whatever, but that became a hot topic was Canning when they tried to push him his previous start. Remember? They tried to push him.
He kind of folded after the third time through the order.
Right,
He
exactly.
got into the sixth inning, but I think he recorded one out.
He got one out, and and there was a 6-1 ball game. It ended up being like 6-3, 6-4, whatever the hell it was.
Right.
But I felt like why not try to push him here? You have a nice, comfortable lead. That's when you take those chances. And then now we see him come back to this game where he did get through that sixth inning. So just a nice, clean ball game there. You have anything you want to add to Thursday night now that we've kind of like gone through it?
Nothing, man. Just look again, getting the job done, getting just playing solid fundamental baseball. Get the starters giving us 5-6 innings, striking people out. Us having timely hits when we need it, scoring early, and then when we need to tack on, we tack on. It's been a perfect blend of baseball, Hector. It's really been beautiful to watch.
And it's been fun to watch. And this was the only game of the series, the only game at home so far that I was not able to make it, as I was able to be out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And going back a little bit, just on a little bit of the nonsense of the not on the field stuff or whatever, what you hear in the media and stuff. There was talk that day, I don't know how real it was, that there was going to be a group of Yankee fans that were going to dress up as Met fans and they were going to go in there.
Serious?
Yeah, they were going to go in there. They were going to try to boo Juan Soto and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
So after the game that night, there was talk of, Juan Soto got booed, but I didn't really hear that from me watching, right? And there were people that disputed that. I even had what is it? There's so many guys with the similar names. I think it's Santico who actually DM'd me. It was like, yo, I was at the game. Make sure you mention in the podcast there was no booing of Juan Soto. So shout out to him. Shout out to Santico.
And they gave him a standing ovation too. We've got to mention that.
Hold on, we're gonna get there. But I'm talking about Thursday. So on Thursday, he said no, there was no booing. Evan Roberts came on the next day on the radio, said there was no booing. What you heard was maybe some groans, and then it turns into Pete, because Pete comes up to bat up. Now, if someone has been at the games, I can vouch for the Pete every time Pete comes to bat up. That always happens, right? It's been going on this shit, and it's getting louder and louder. Yeah, it's getting louder and louder. So you could perceive that as boos. So that's Thursday night. I wanted to set the scene for what Friday night, which you kind of touched on, which we'll get to. But Friday night, what was it?
And who was pitching Friday night? Friday night was not
Friday
Canning.
Was it? No. It was we had Canning on Thursday. Friday was Peterson.
Peterson, yes, great game by Peterson too. Striking out 9 strikeouts, I believe.
Was it 9?
I believe he had 9.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 9 strikeouts. He ended up giving the 3 earned runs, 7 hits, but still got into the 6. Was not able to get through 6, and I think he was the only one. We'll check as we go on here, but he was the only one, I believe, that was not able to get through the 6th innings. But yeah, so that game started with the Cardinals actually taking the lead and being up 2-0.
Yes.
Right? Yes. No. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong game here. What the hell am I doing?
No, the Peterson one, I believe they I forgot the final.
No, yeah. That was the Peterson one. Friday. What the hell am I doing?
Right, okay.
Yeah. So the Cardinals did jump out to a 2-0 lead. I don't know why it shows it like that. Okay. Right. And then The Mets tied it in the 5th on a Brett Beatty double
Yes.
and a
Big
Tyrone
hit.
Taylor triple. Well, Beatty opened the inning with a double. Tyrone Taylor tripled, and then Juan Soto singles
Yes. Yeah.
to tie
Yep.
the
Yep.
game 2-0. And that's through 5. Then in the top of the 6th, you get Arenado to single in a run.
Yes.
Then we come back
Arenado had a great series from defensively. I mean, that guy's
he
a
made some nice
vacuum
plays. He made a
cleaner.
couple of very nice plays. But that, we're used to seeing that from Arenado.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
have Vientos
But
to
he
hit
still got it, though. How old is he now? He's got to be 34, 35 now, right?
I forget
Yeah,
how old exactly is. But no, listen, Arenado is one of the best third basemen that I've seen.
And they were trying to trade him.
Yeah, because they're not going anywhere. So they don't want to pay the guy.
I mean, it's a weak division. I mean, I don't think it'll take much to win it.
Yeah, well, and listen, to be honest, it's not like they've played bad against us either. They were in every game. A hit here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They get an out here, whatever. It could have gone either way. We got the big hits. We got the big outs. We made some big plays. We saw Lindor make a nice play yesterday. We saw Brandon Nimmo rob a home run today.
Yeah.
We even saw Vientos make a couple of nice plays. We saw him make that leap and grab yesterday where ended up going out.
Yeah, Vientos is very good at he's not the greatest in charging balls and things like that, but he's very good at the hot shots. When something's hit hot, he's got very good reflexes. So that's been a little bit of an improvement from last year. He still has to be he's still a little clumsy, I'd say, at times. But again, I'm nitpicking. Right. Guy's been doing his job.
So Vientos in the bottom of the 6th. This is his second home run in 2 days as he ties the game up 3-3. And then we have Luis Torrens driving Brandon Nimmo with a double after Nimmo. I forget how Nimmo got on. That he was able to go to second on a pickoff play. And
was
then
it a walk? Did he walk on that?
It probably was a walk. I can't remember what the hell it was. It's inconsequential. The important thing is that Torrens again with another big hit, opposite field drives him in. And we're thinking, here we go.
He's going to make it very hard for Alvarez to get that starting job, let me tell you.
No, for sure. And you know how I feel about it. It should be a 50-50, at least to start, until Alvi goes ahead and takes the job back. And I just don't see how he does that. Like, no matter what, Torrens just deserves to play. And then, here we go. We're cruising. And Eddie, I'm at the ballpark for this game. And I'm not going to lie.
Did you go all 4 games? Or
No. Thursday night, I wasn't able to go. So we're now at Friday night. And I was at this game. And a couple of things. Let's reverse back. First at bat for Juan Soto Friday night. Cheers. He comes up like everybody gets cheered, standing ovation, all that good stuff. I don't want to see standing ovation, so people get up, whatever. But it's loud cheers as he comes to the plate. He makes an out. I believe it was a ground out. I forget what it was. He makes an out. You hear some groans.
Right.
It's okay. It's because of the situation of the game, right? I think there was like a man on base or whatever the hell it was. You hear some groans. He comes up the second time to bat. No, the first time there was nobody on base. The second time there was people on base. And he makes it out again, if I'm not mistaken. And that time, I'm not going to lie, you heard some little bit of boos.
Right.
Light, but you heard some boos. Then he came up to what you were referring to, the third at bat, where he got the standing ovation.
Right.
And that's when he actually gets the hit there to tie the game. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch on that because now I'm in the building and I was able to experience it. And there was, to be fair, some light boos there when he made that out with guys on base. But it wasn't nothing that overtook the building. And immediately, again, it turned into right into Pete. It was like, oh my gosh. It was like, boo, repeat. Let's go. Like, you get the job done. You know what I mean? So, no big deal. But as we get now to the 9th inning or in the 8th inning and we take the lead, I don't know about you, Eddie, but I'm thinking, okay, anybody but Diaz. Anybody. I don't want to deal with Diaz, right?
I didn't want him either, man.
No, and we didn't get him, and we got Brazoban, and I'm like, yeah, let's go Brazoban, right?
I was watching this with my son. Yes.
And of course, first batter, boom.
Crack.
Donovan hits it off the foul pole.
Yeah.
Ty
Good hitter.
Morgan.
By the way, Brendan
Yeah.
Donovan, good hitter.
Hell of a hitter. Hell of a hitter. But wouldn't it be that, of course, the guy that we're like, yes, let's go. We want Brazel. We prefer Brazelban out there instead of Edwin Diaz.
Right,
And listen,
right.
you can't even be mad because the guy's been phenomenal. The guy's been
Yes.
damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying?
He's
He's coming early. He's coming late. He's coming with men on base. He's been great. So you knew eventually he was gonna get nicked up. You just would not like to see it right there, but it happened. Boom. But it set the stage for, of course. And now, as okay, he gives up the home run, and then he woke up and it was like boom, 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 3 outs. I'm thinking, here we go. Here we go. He's already tied the game earlier.
Yep.
All we need is Lindor, do whatever the hell you're going to do. Get on base, walk, single, fuck, make an out. I don't give a damn. Because this game is set up for Juan Soto to hit this walk-off.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. And
Tell me
I
you're
said
not
to
thinking
my
that.
son, before I said, my son's not a big baseball fan. He's not into it, but he's trying to like learn it. For me, he played a little bit, but good hitter, but doesn't really like, he likes watching it now more than ever. I said to him, I said, Eddie, I said, we have the best 3 hitters coming up right now. I said, this is our chance to win the game. It's right now. We do not want to go to extra innings.
No, for sure. But I'm thinking, this is it.
You're thinking about a big Mets moment, is what
exactly. A Mets moment. I'm glad you said a Mets moment, Eddie, because I even think I even did a video where I said, I don't want to say this is his becoming a Met moment, but this is going to be one of his early Mets moments, especially with everything that's going on. And Lindor said, you know what, Papo? Not yet. Not yet. Let me show you how this is done.
Lindor took I think it was a 3-pitch at bat, if I'm not mistaken.
2, no? I thought it was on the second pitch, but it doesn't matter.
All right, either or. But the first pitch he took, it was right down the middle. And I said to myself, oh my God, that's a pitch he should have crushed. But then the next pitch or the third pitch, I'm not sure. Chad, help me out. He fucking put that thing he almost hit the Pepsi. Well, it's not is it still the Pepsi porch or it's the Coke porch, right?
Coca-Cola corner.
He almost hit the Coke sign because that shit was still going up when he hit that thing. I was so proud of Lindor at that moment. I was so proud. I was so happy to be a Mets fan, man. Really, seriously. I'm proud. And that's saying a lot, bro. Because I lived through the years when the Yankees just owned the city and every asshole and their brother was a Yankee fan. So I was so proud to be a Met fan in that moment. And I got to share it with my son, which was beautiful.
No, it was great. And it was great to be in there for that. And listen, as soon as he hit that, like, forget about it. You knew it was gone. There was no question about it. It was, and of course the crowd went nuts. And I gotta be fair. I don't know, because I saw some talk. I don't know about you, but as soon as I got home, or as soon as I got in my car, as soon as I started looking at videos.
Okay.
I wanted to see Juan Soto's reaction. And at first I was like,
good. I didn't even think about that.
No, I wanted to see it. When I bring it up, because I listen to the radio every now and then, not as much as I used to. I do read what's going on Twitter. And there was a post of somebody, one person in particular, that said, oh, Juan Soto wasn't celebrating.
Oh, come on.
And people got on him for even thinking that, or even thinking to go look at that. Well, I'm going to be fair, blunt thoughts. I was looking at that too. I was looking to see what his reaction was. I want to see. I want to see if this guy is comfortable here. I want to see if he feels like a part of the team. I want to see what the hell is going on. And at first, I'm like, damn, he really had no reaction because they showed him real quick. If you're watching the game, if you watch the highlights, they showed him before. Then they showed him as Lindor hits it. They showed him, and he just basically looks at Lindor like, holy fuck, and just like slowly starts walking towards home plate. But then you see that when they're at home plate, he's jumping there with them. To me, he still was like a little bit on the outside, jumping up, whatever.
Didn't he dump the water on Lindor?
No,
I thought it was him. No.
No, it was Winker. First, it was Taylor, and I forgot who else first, and then Winker came in with another
Oh,
one.
Winker was who's the
Yeah,
one that's the one that dumped the whole thing on him. I mean,
yeah,
because he was cold after that hit him.
yeah, yeah. But I wanted to see. But to be fair, he was in there in the pit or whatever you want to call it, jumping up and down that home plate. He was part of it. Listen, and it's understandable. It's understandable. It's understandable. As what the hell was that? That was Friday night. Let's go to Saturday night, and we'll keep going. But you know what? No, let's do this. Let's do this, Eddie, real quick. Let's.
Okay.
How about we look at some comments?
Yeah, definitely. Let's get into the
What the
comments.
hell? Wow, I had a whole bunch of comments starred,
Stardom.
and yeah, but now they're all gone. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. But I know I had this one from before. Always, always, always. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate you.
appreciate you.
Um, just because we just spoke about this, and this comment just came in recently, as Willie Wonky 13 says, I was at the game and there was some booze. Now I'm not sure if you want to expand on that. Which game were you at? Because like I said, I was at all games. I was at all games. Now today, before Soto hits the double, I'm sitting to a gentleman, maybe a little older than me. I'm
Okay.
49, Latino gentleman,
Okay.
and he's telling me Juan Soto sucks.
What?
All that money, and I'm like, dude, hold on. What do you expect him to do? To pay the money back all in one game, all in one at bat,
Right.
all in
Exactly.
17, 18 games, whatever the
Was
hell we
this one of
played?
your passengers or is this your friend?
No, no, no. This was at the game. A friend
Oh shit.
at the
Okay.
game, just somebody that's just standing there at the
Okay.
game. Like, oh, he sucks. This guy, all that money for nothing. Da-da-da. He's supposed to hit home runs. He's supposed to do this. And I'm like, dude, so you want him to give you all the money in one at bat?
Exactly. It's a 15-year contract.
You know what I mean? And then Lindor hits a double. He's like, come on, that 765 million for that. I said, I'll get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. He don't sound like he's a real fan, bro.
Get the hell out of here. So I know as Met fans, no, he was a fan. Met gear and everything.
Really? It's about fair weather fan though, no? Maybe he's
I
a
don't know what to
fucking
say, a
idiot.
fair weather fan. Because there are a lot of, and that's why I bring this up. Because we want to dismiss these things as fans, right? We want to dismiss the fact that anybody would boo Juan Soto. No, no, no. Even going back to the first homestand, I heard groans. Not boos, but groans, right?
Right.
There are fans. I saw a video that was sent to me that was on TikTok or something like that, right? Of a
Okay.
dude in Dominican Republic talking about like, yo, Juan Soto's not this great hitter, great nothing. He's a great, and this is a poor translation on my part, but he was basically saying he's a great knower of the strike zone.
Okay.
Like he
Yeah,
knows the
basically
strike zone real well.
generational walker, as some people like to say.
I don't know if he went as far as to say generational Walker, but his point was that yeah, he knows the strike zone and stuff, but he's not really a hitter. And if you really listen to it, there's some validity to that. There is some validity to that.
Oh, he knows the strike zone. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he
100%.
knows the strike zone. He knows the strike zone. Listen, and I don't want to get into it because it's not. I'm not here to Soto. He's had a good weekend. To me, a great hitter is somebody that hits over 300. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if it's 2025 or if it's 1925. A hitter
Hitter.
hits the ball. But
I agree.
I digress.
I mean, nowadays, like I said, I think I said this on last episode. Nowadays, hitting 288 is like considered elite.
Yeah.
288, not even 290. That's like elite, brother. And you could look at the batting averages. You could look at them.
No, I know this. I know this.
I don't gotta tell you.
I know this. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. I'm not. It's a losing battle.
Yeah.
You know, for me. What is series? The Cards didn't play bad. The Mets just took it. Agreed.
I
Yes,
thought
the
we
Cardinals
kicked their
did.
ass.
We did.
Any kind of big hit we needed, we got.
Yeah. Yeah. But they didn't
Yeah,
they didn't make it easy.
that's a good point right there. First sweep of the Cardinals since 1986. That's a long time, man. That's a long, long time.
Not yet. Well,
Is it a 4-game series or just a
yeah, I
sweep?
think it's first sweep, first 4 game sweep, which I also
Okay.
had. I have it here too at the end there. Yeah, first 4 game sweep of the Cardinals since 1986. And of course, right away people want to draw the parallels of what happened in '86 and all that good stuff. But yeah,
That's me. I got it.
what's that?
No, nothing. Just something going off.
Oh no, I wasn't even. I was actually ignoring that. Sinatra, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Blunt thoughts is better than
Dope.
WFAN. Yes, sir.
Maybe me and you could get a little WFAN gig. I'd have to fly up, but me and you, let's
You
say
know,
on off nights, we'll do like, an overnight or some shit.
and give us at least one, and we'll see what happens. Let the people
Yeah.
talk. That's what I say.
And I
Give
could
me
click
one
on
shot. I don't give a damn if
WFAN.
it's at 2 in the morning, like they like to do. They like to
Yeah,
give people tryouts in the middle of the night. I'll
that's
make
fine.
sure everybody calls, even with the 300 people in here. That's more than enough calls for you to take it from 2 to 4, which is what they usually do. 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 4. They give you a little tryout.
Shout out to my guy, Al Cinchon, my boy. He's over there. He's still doing his thing over there. We used to do a show together.
No,
Love
that's how
Al.
he goes. And he got a tryout.
Yep, he got
His
it and he's
first
doing his
shot was
thing.
a 2 to 4
Yep.
late night, and look, he's got a little part time over there pretty much. So you never know what could happen. But just let's what's going on, Cruz? What's going on, Delomio? As we wrap up quickly, Game 6. There was really not much to talk about. Game 6. It was nice 3-0 tidy game. Kodai Senga again
Oh, Sangers
pitching,
was phenomenal in that game.
pitching. He's pitching, Eddie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Pitching. He even talked about it. He knows hitters, other teams are ready for the fork ball, so I got to give him something else. I got to keep him off balance, and we saw that. And his fastball's been pretty damn good this year.
Yes.
His four-seam fastball's been pretty damn good.
And
But
his
just a
forkball's been getting everybody out.
no, no,
And this is coming from a guy who said he's not an ace, but bro, he's definitely elite. He's definitely an elite pitcher.
yeah, but I'm saying like this game, it wasn't even about the fork ball. That's what I'm just saying. Like he talked about how he knows that other teams are focusing on the fork ball. So he
Right.
has to find another way to get batters out, and that's why he used more his fastball. He used the cutter a little bit. You know what I mean? But just a nice, tidy game, a game that again saw Juan Soto get another RBI and another ground ball base hit. Another shout out to my guy D Hap. Dennis has a podcast. My guy, I was with the game with him today, where he said, just getting C9 singles. And that's what basically what Lindor was doing. And I was talking to Jonathan earlier today. Shout out to my guy Jonathan. And
Shout out to Jonathan. He's always in the space. He's always on the show.
yeah, I hosted a space earlier today, right before the game. Not, real quick, short space. And he's like, "Oh, I like Soto's at bat. He looks balanced." And I'm like, I don't know if he looks balanced. He's been getting some balls to get through. He's been topping off some balls that has found some gaps, as Dennis called them CNI singles. But I still felt like he was pulling off a bit. I still feel like he was pulling off a bit. And I'm trying to hold off on the comments that he made today after the game, because I think it solidifies that. It just it like what I'm saying, it brings light to that. I think it solidifies for us that have been saying. Keith Fernandez has been saying it. He's a little early. He's a little jumpy. He's pulling off. He's opening up, and you can see that, right? But yet still, he was able to drive in a run there in the third. Pete Alonso was able to drive in another run with a double there in the third, and we had a nice 2-0 lead. And again, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need another run. Please give me another run,
Right.
because this is an Edwin Diaz game, and here comes Pete in the eighth. Boom! Here's your run, Heck, and hits a bomb off the second deck up there in left field.
Oh my
And we
goodness.
take a 3-0 lead. Diaz comes in, does what Diaz does, gives you the Diaz experience. As I think he walked somebody, whatever the hell he did.
I think he was
he
that was one of his
anybody, no.
better games, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
actually he didn't walk anybody. It was actually a pretty good, nice clean inning. But a nice clean 3-0 game. Anything you want to add to Saturday night? I don't think there's anything you can add to that, but
No, man, but I mean, perfect. I mean, 3-0, shut him out. Perfect game. That's
Yep.
that's baseball right there.
Yep.
The pitching comes in and we get timely hitting. That's it. That's the way this team wins. We pitch our asses off, starting pitcher and bullpen, and then we do our thing. That's it.
Basically.
Simple as that.
And then we move to today, Eddie. Today, which is, I'm sure, fresh in your mind. I don't need to help you with it today. Francisco Lindor, leadoff home run. Boom.
Another one.
What's that?
Another one.
Right. No, and listen, we saw he went to, what was it, like 6-7 games where he was leading off with at least with a hit, double, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And he has a couple already leadoff home runs already. I mean, 2 or maybe 3. At least 2. I think it's 2. But leads off today with a home run. Juan Soto again drives in another run, this time with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. And we're humming along 2-0 in the 5th inning there. Pete Alonso, who says, you guys think I'm not going to get involved? If you guys are involved, I'm involved. And he gets a nice little single there, drives in another run. And it's 3-0. And we're looking like, okay, this is going to be a nice, easy victory.
Right.
And what's his face? Clay Holmes was pitching pretty good, had some help with the defense, but was pitching pretty damn good.
We went 6 innings today, so that's progress.
And again, 6th inning. All of our pitchers this series got into the 6th inning, and only Peterson wasn't able to get through 6th.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
I think all of them got through the 6th inning, which is something we were calling for, and been saying, hey, let's take it easy. It'll happen. It'll happen. You got to build these guys up. So now we're seeing that. Now we're going to start asking for 7 innings.
Right.
Now we're going to start asking for 7 innings. But it stays like that way until the top of the 6th, where they get a run. What was it? On a ground out. Okay, 3-1. No big deal. But then in the top of the 7th, they actually tie the game on a couple of singles. And I'm not sure, was that when Nimmo stole the home run? I can't remember.
It was around that time period.
I think it might have been there when Nimmo helped stop the scoring there in the 7th, and we had a 3-3 ball game. Was that in the
7th?
3-3 ball game in the 7th. And then in the 8th, Tyrone Taylor, who's been pretty damn good. And got the day off yesterday to give him a break. Shout out to Asokal, who probably his only game that he'll see, because I think McNeil and Alvy be here pretty soon, and I don't think Tyrone.
Do we have the updates on Alvy and McNeil? Is there anything new or no? Right?
They played today. They're supposed to come in tomorrow for an update for test, and to make sure. But they've both been medically cleared now. And this is what Mendy said. I think it was either late last night or this morning. I forget. It might have been yesterday. What he said is now is just getting them at bats. They want to get them at bats. They want to get them more time. So he was like, maybe we could see them for the Philly series, but he's thinking probably not, that they're going to play another game or 2 out there in Binghamton, maybe in Syracuse. So we'll see how that goes. But I know they both played today. McNeil has homered in back-to-back days because he homered yesterday, homered again today. McNeil was also, this is what I heard, got a shipment of torpedo bats yesterday. Not sure of that. That's what I heard.
You?
That's what I saw. Eddie, did you see anything?
I don't check the timeline. I just watch the games. I don't have enough time for that.
Well, it's not even taking the timeline. Some stuff is just.
I didn't know that. See, but
I don't know how true it is. I saw that he got a shipment of torpedo bats yesterday, and then they put the home run. So whatever.
I could totally see him hitting with those torpedo bats. That's right in his wheelhouse.
Starling Marte hits with a torpedo bat. I saw the bat with my own eyes on. Shout out to the homie Lisa, who, what the hell, what's today? Yesterday, had me sitting behind home plate, and I could clearly see the torpedo bat. I was like, oh shit, torpedo bat from the Marte. Okay.
No, I said that about McNeil because he always likes changing his bats. So I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah. But so that's the situation with those guys. So, but I was just gonna say shout out to Ahsoka because he came in, gave Taylor a break yesterday. But listen, Taylor's been good, man. And Taylor gets big hits.
Yes.
He may not hit not even 220, but and he's not gonna come through every now and then, but he gets big hits. He gets big hits. I'm a big
and he's a great defender. He's a great defender. He's a plus defender. He's got a good arm. There's a lot to like about Taylor.
Absolutely. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4. That was in the 7th. Yeah, sorry. No, that was in the 8th where he gave us the lead. And then, no, sorry, Brandon Nimmo, who's been much maligned, who needed a freaking hit, gets an RBI single there as he drives in Francisco Lindor. Good job by Nimmo there. Needed that.
We needed that.
I see him and Soto both breaking out. And I think we saw it with Soto who in the 8th inning there, after Taylor drives in the run with a double, hits a double of his own. And I just told you that was what the gentleman was telling me how much Soto sucks. And I was like, he sucks, right? How about that? And then he said what he said and left. I was actually going to put him, because I was doing a video at that moment. But I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to put this guy on my fucking thing. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Exactly.
You don't deserve to be on Blunt Thoughts with that nonsense. I understand being a little bit annoying and saying, listen, like I've said, like you said, like Sal said, let's get it going already. Let's get it going. But to tell me that he stinks and at one point I was like, yo, dude, none of these guys are worth this fucking money. At the end of the day, if you ask me, like they all overpaid. If you ask me,
there's no salary cap, so I don't give.
You know what I'm saying?
Shits.
So like, what the hell are we talking about here? Like I said, he's not gonna do it all in one at bat, all in one series, all in one season. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a 15-year deal. Now, doesn't mean you cruise for 15 years.
So let me ask you, Hector, did Soto have his Mets moment today, or does it got to be a home run, more dramatic?
No, it doesn't have to be a home run.
I thought it was a little bit of a coming out party for him. That was a really big hit for him.
Yeah, I don't think it's an early moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's the moment. But I thought what we heard from him, and let me see if I can pull it up here. Because I thought what we heard from him in the post game was key. And I think it was like he was talking about today, but I think it applies to more than today. And I think it's why we've seen what I said, where I feel like he's pulling away and he's topping off some balls. Right. And some he's gotten them through. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's because of what he said today. Let's see if I can get it here. Give me a second. Oh, my gosh. Why is this thing acting so slow, man?
It's okay. Listen, man, with that at bat for me with Soto, I thought that was a much needed big hit for him because you could tell he's pressing. You could tell, but he's definitely the more and more he's playing at home, the more and more comfortable he gets. And I could see it. I could just see it. The crowd's starting to get behind him, and he's kind of feeding off that energy a little bit. So it's nice to see. You know what I'm saying?
To that point, I'm gonna share this instead. While I find the other thing I wanted to share with you, which was from his on the field comments. But let's listen to him talking about the crowd.
Right.
Obviously, the fans kind of greeted you with the cheers the other night, and you have that RBI single. What is that like?
This is a great feeling. It's a great feeling, when you have a fan base supporting you. When you're doing bad, when you're doing good, it's just great. I really appreciate what they did. They don't. I feel like they don't know how meaningful is that. I think it meant a lot for the players when they do that, and it feels really special.
Were you surprised by it?
100%. I was like, after my first at bat, I was like, why are they getting up and cheering? Like that's kind of exciting, and I really enjoy it.
Obviously.
Your thoughts, Eddie?
Happy, man. Happy. Just happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he appreciates the fans. He knows how loyal we are. He knows we're going to give him love. And I'm happy for him because clearly he was, we killed him. I was one of them. I went into him after that 0-5 game versus Minnesota. And he came back in the series and he just looked more comfortable. And I think he needed to hear that from the fans. I think he needed to hear that. So,
and that's what I was going to say. That's what I get from it, too. He said he was surprised.
Yeah.
He said, I loved it. He said they don't know how much that means.
Exactly.
So, you know what? Even though I thought, listen, this is going to be a guy that's not going to press. And I'm not for, you can't criticize guys. I'm never going to say that because I'm going to be critical.
Of course.
I was critical before everybody because I'm a maniac. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand when people say, no, listen, sometimes these guys need encouragement. Well, he's telling us right here that it helped. He just said after my first at bat and I hit it, I'm like, wow, it made me feel good. It motivate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so again,
Good.
you
So
do you
good.
do what you do. No, I know, but I'm just saying it doesn't mean that you can't be critical, doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Of
just
course
saying,
not.
like, but it also sheds light to the fact that yeah, these guys do press. Even Juan Soto, who I thought, okay, he has a year in New York under his belt. This guy's been performing since 19 years old. He feels no damn pressure. No, he
No,
does. You understand? He does. So it's like it's good to see. That's what I'm saying.
listen, man. Again, love this team. Very little to criticize. They're doing all the right things at the right times. This is a few years ago. We faced the Cardinals. We lose this series a few years ago. This is a different brand of Mets baseball we're looking at because it's both ways. Usually we always have the pitching, but now we're getting both. And we have stars in this lineup. Lindor's a star. Soto's a star. Pete's a star. Vientos is capable of being a star. Nimmo is capable of being a very good hitter. We got a lot of good things going for us right now. Torrance is doing his job. Torrance, excuse me. We're doing what we have to do, and we're winning ball games, and that's what matters. Sweeping the Cardinals 4-0 hasn't been done since 1986. It's huge. It's huge.
Yep. Oh, it is. It's great. Here it goes. Finally fucking found this shit. This is on the field interview, which I thought was telling. I thought was telling. That's just in it. Whatever.
Juan, a 3 RBI day for you today. Huge 2 RBI double in that 8th inning. Fernandez started you with a couple of balls in. You eventually take a slider backdoor away for the double. What was your thought process there through that at bat?
For me, I go to 2 strikes. Definitely just put the ball in play and see what happens. At the beginning, I was trying to go yard, but when he put me on the holes, I just tried to put the ball in play. He make a good pitch, and I make a better swing.
Juan, another big day for Francisco Lindor on both sides, offensively and defensively. I know you've seen him from afar, but up close now, getting to play with him. What stood out to you so far?
It's just great how great he is on the defensive side. He's just incredible. I mean, he can get to balls where not many guys can get to it, and it's just incredible to see.
What have you made of your early season Citi Field experience with the way these crowds have been?
It's been great. It's been great. This crowd's been unbelievable day in, day out. I really love the support. I mean, they've been great since day one, so thank you.
4-game sweep of the Cardinals. Juan Soto, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you, guys.
He's feeling it, Hector. He's feeling it.
Yep.
He's feeling the love, and it's a good thing. Oh, we got Nimmo?
No. But to me, what stood out to me at least was him talking about how he was trying to hit the home run early on.
All right.
And I think it's more than just even that at bat too. Obviously, he's talking about that at bat, but again, just going back to what we've been saying, or at least what I've been thinking about, he's been pulling off a little bit stuff like that. And when he says something like that, I'm like, okay,
Right.
I could see that. Yeah, you are pulling off because you're trying to hit a home run, and now maybe a hit like today, that double like today, will help him to not pull off, not try to hit the home run, or even if he's trying to hit the home run, to be able to stay back and still hit that home run and not be anxious about hitting that home run. Just do what you do, my guy.
But Hector, that's the difference between him and regular hitters. Regular hitters that are trying to go out and hit home runs, they go out and strike out. Soto's a different breed. He may not. He'll try to hit a home run, and then he gets in an unfavorable count. He'll adjust his swing, and he'll go out and he'll get you, double, single. He'll do what he got to do. And that's the difference between him. That's what makes him a superstar, man.
Yep. But that's the series. That's hopefully the start of Soto just fucking putting his team on his back and going on one of those hot streaks that we all expect. But yeah, man, just nothing like you said early on, nothing to really complain about. We could nitpick, we could do this, we could do that. Let's look at the comments before we move on to whatever you want to move on to next.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Heck, I just put something in the comment, please.
You just what?
It's
Oh.
in the comments.
Got you. Not a problem. Not a problem. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, listen. For me, I like I said, I thought that was big. I think that'll help him to calm down a little bit in these situations now, and we could see where he probably maybe even as soon as tomorrow has a 2-run game, a 2-home-run game or a home run game. I think the home runs are gonna start coming, and they're gonna come in bunches. And not that I'm looking for him to hit home runs, but we know he's gonna hit some. We know he's gonna be over 30, and he probably has some catching up to do. So I'm looking forward to that. And another guy that I think that it was big that got a big hit today, as all the big guys got involved, but it was Brandon Nimmo. And listen, we talked about it before, and I forgot who was it that brought up before. It was my guy Jonathan who said, "Oh, maybe it's time for the hitting coaches to have a team meeting or have a meeting with these hitters." And I was like, wait a minute. You're assuming that the hitters are not going with the plan, that the hitters are acting rogue when they're swinging first pitch and it's frustrating us. But no, that's not what's happening. Carlos Mendoza said himself that that's by design. They want to be aggressive, especially against certain pitches. You know what I'm saying? So, and I remember saying that day to Jonathan. So when I heard Carlos Mendoza say that, I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't crazy for that. Maybe they are doing that by design. It's just that like he said, we're just not executing. We're not having the success. We're not getting the results. But they eventually will come. At the same time, he did say he felt like Brandon Nimmo was being a little too aggressive.
Right.
Yes, they want to be aggressive as a team, but Brandon Nimmo was being a little too aggressive in that stretch there. And we've seen in the last few games where Brandon Nimmo has calmed down with his aggressiveness. He's taking more pitches. He got the big hit today. And I feel like Brandon Nimmo's also on the verge of coming out. And if him and Soto could come out at the same time and turn it around, and maybe Pete Alonso and Lindor don't cool off, or let me say Pete Alonso doesn't cool off, and Lindor continues what he's doing and also really heats up, because Lindor's been doing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Especially compared to his starts. And I'm not even talking about last year, because last year was just like horrendous. But just overall, right, we always hear about he gets off to a little bit of a slow start. Well, I think the way he's starting this year, he's pretty much on his way to his first All-Star as a Met if he keeps this going.
Let me ask you.
And obviously, because I think where, usually at the end of May, mid to end of May is when Lindor starts picking it up and then takes off in June. Maybe that happens now. You know what I'm saying? End of April, beginning of May, boom, he takes off and he goes, and he can finally get into that All-Star. You want to ask?
I was going to ask you, being how great Lindor's been and how phenomenal he's been here now for a long time. He's clearly one of the leaders of the team. And this was brought up in the spaces. I know a lot of people in the chat have mentioned this. A lot of people on Mets Twitter have mentioned it. Should the Mets make Lindor the captain? Now, I'm personally against the captain thing because I have PTSD. And I know from research, after they gave it to Hernandez, he kind of declined. I know they gave it to John Franco, and let's face it, John Franco was never anything special. And they gave it to, I believe, David Wright after that. And David Wright kind of, hit the skids too. It's been sort of like a curse almost being that captain thing. But it's also, but at the same time, it's an honor. And I'm not one of those people. I don't like the captain thing because I have, PTSD. I have Mets PTSD. But if there was ever a guy that deserves being a captain, it's Francisco Lindor. What's your take on that? And I'm against this shit. I'm against it.
Are you suffering from an amnesia? Because last week or last show, I tried to pick up the captaincy just because he was nominated captain of Puerto Rico. You almost took my head off. And you said you don't give a damn about captains and everything.
Well, no. That's
and now you want to talk about captains.
And I bought it up because the fans have bought it up. Not because of me. The fans. if you would have asked me, I'm against it because I have PTSD. But by the same token, he has earned it. He's earned it on the fucking field. He's earned it being here with the accountability and all that other shit.
I
But-
think that matters more to me. Obviously, what he's doing on the field. And listen, I'll tell you one thing. It kind of frustrates me when he gets a hit and you see that, oh, name him captain now. Why? 'Cause he got a hit?
Right. But
Every time he gets a hit, he makes a play. Oh, name him captain now. Like, come on, enough of that nonsense already. We all know, we hear it all the time. You talk about you're hearing it now. I've been hearing it. That's why I bring it up last week. Again, you didn't want to talk about it. I don't have
But
a
again,
problem with
different
it.
circumstances, Hack. That's WBC. It's different than Major League Baseball. Different,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
different from what we're
I was just saying, let's congratulate him on this. And you went into the whole, I don't care about captains and this and
I
that.
said, I don't give a shit.
All right, Eddie, you asked me a question. I'm trying to answer you, bro.
Okay.
Stop reacting to every word I say. I got you, brother. Be easy. It's
Listen,
Easter.
you know, I get emotional.
It's
If
Easter.
you
So
haven't
do I.
noticed.
It's Easter, but it's Easter. So let's keep it cool.
Yes.
I've been on record. I think it should be him and Nimmo co-captains.
Co-captains.
Yeah, I think him and Nimmo should be co-captains. I don't think he should be made captain by himself. I think him and Nimmo should be made co-captains for many reasons. But we're not going to get into that tonight. So to answer your question, I don't have a problem with him being named captain. I do have a problem with him being named solo captain, soul captain, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Am I going to get bent out of shape about it? No. Do I give a fuck? No. Keep doing the damn job on the field, in the clubhouse, whatever it is. Keep being the leader that you are. We know this team has a couple of leaders, and eventually maybe Soto joins in that leadership. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Soto's just like P, where they just on the field leaders and that just get the job done. And Lindor and Nimmo and maybe other guys continue to lead in the clubhouse and be those kind of leaders, right? Approaching the young guys, going out on team dinners, whatever the case may be. I don't have a problem with it.
Bro.
As it pertains to your comments about they make Keith Hernandez the captain and he was on his way down. At what age did they make him the captain, Eddie? Like, I don't think you're being fair. If you look at the time, nobody becomes the
he had
captain.
one more good year. That was it.
Nobody becomes the captain their rookie year, their second year,
I know.
even their third, fourth year. Aaron Judge is like an outlier where he was made the captain as soon as he was given his contract. Usually these guys are made captains later on in their career. So if you want to say, oh, well, their career fell apart when they became captain, I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, I mean, David Wright was in the prime.
Well, he got hurt. What the hell does being a captain have to do with it? Oh, I'm captain now. Let me fuck up my back.
Well, yeah, listen, that's why I brought it up.
You want to tell me that you consider it a jinx?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fight you on that. If
I
you
do
feel
a
like,
little bit.
If you feel like that, hey, you know how I feel about the black jerseys or how I felt about the black jerseys before. So listen, but as far as him being captain, whatever. I don't have a problem with it. And listen, if they want to name captains again, just make it him and Nimmo. But
Nimmo.
yeah, I'm not in a rush for it. I'm not.
I don't know if Nimmo deserves it the way Lindor deserves it.
Why? Because the captain needs to be the guy that hits the home runs. That like, come on, give me a break.
No, because I think Lindor is has been more of a leader than Nimmo.
That's not true. That is so not true.
No, I'm not saying Nimmo doesn't take accountability. I'm not saying Nimmo's a bad guy. I think Nimmo's a great guy. I think he's a great person.
You realize that they called that team meeting. You realize they called the team meeting together. When do you think Lindor became a leader? Because Lindor has not led this team his whole time here.
No, I know.
He's been a leader. He's been a great leader the whole time he's been here. When do you think Lindor became a leader?
I think last year he separated himself.
About what time?
Last year.
About what time? Because it wasn't the whole year either.
Second half of the year. But you know what? Matter of fact,
it all started with the team meeting, bro. That everybody wants.
The team meeting was in May.
Huh?
The team meeting was at the end of May, correct?
Right. And you know who called the meeting? Him and Nimmo together.
Okay.
Right, like he didn't do it on his own.
I was under
and ever since then, him and Nimmo have been right there.
Okay.
In their leadership. If you pay attention to something, but you said you don't pay attention to it, I think you just watch the games.
No, it's not that. It's
You
just,
know what I mean?
I don't always look on the timeline.
Well, that has
I
nothing
don't.
to do with the time. Like Eddie, like you keep bringing up the timeline. You watch the pregame, you watch postgame, you watch BNN. There's many
I watch
places.
the games. I don't watch a lot of pregame. I look at the lineup, and then I'll go watch the game. I don't have a lot of time to do post games and pregame. I don't have that type of time. Watch the games, watch every pitch. Yesterday, I actually watched game. I watched the game over with just to get a little fresh
Right.
mind. And tonight, I'll probably I'll fast forward through today's game again too. That's just what I like to look. I like to rewatch the games.
Yeah, I try to do that sometimes too. But like even just articles that you read, like just stuff that's going on. Like these guys, they've both been leading this team, bro. But again, like it is what it is.
So basically, you're at where I am. With the
I'll give all
WBC.
the some credit to Nimmo no matter what, and you will kill Nimmo no matter what. I mean, again, you were the same guy that was telling me that Peter Alonso could not be part of this team. That Peter Alonso did not want to be a Met. That Peter Alonso didn't care for us. That Peter Alonso wasn't conducive to winning.
No, listen.
You know what I'm saying? But hey,
Pete Alonso's case. Listen, I hope he keeps this up because he's an absolute superstar, and I don't throw around that word lightly. That term's reserved for about 10 players in all of Major League Baseball. And again, I'll sift through who's who, but I'm not going to go over that now. But I don't take that word lightly. Superstar.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I'm ready to call Peter Alonso a superstar. He's a great star. He's a great guy, man. He's
Well, the way he's playing right now, he's playing like a superstar. In 2019, he was a superstar. 2022, he was a superstar. Now, when they say "nah," who's that mean? I don't know who he means.
he means Lindor. Who else is he gonna mean?
Okay, but
But
you
why does he need to be named captain? Like that's another thing I don't understand. Like, why do we need to name a captain?
We
Like,
don't. I'm just saying, does he deserve it?
Okay.
We don't have to listen again. You put a gun to my head. I say no captains.
I didn't. I honestly, I just wish they fucking did this. I could stop hearing about this shit.
Okay.
I really do.
I mean, that's fine. That's fair.
Talking about things that don't matter, that's something that really doesn't matter. If anything, naming him the captain could maybe cause more issues than anything. Because now you're like designating somebody, and you know what I'm saying, as opposed to what's going on right now, which is organic and everybody's just humming along, bro. Everything's just going good. He's already being a captain without having to be named the captain. He's already leading this team, but everybody's in this fucking.
Listen, Hector.
Like,
only reason I brought it up is because I've been in spaces, I've been in a lot of places where this topic has come up, and I brought it up, and I wanted to ask your opinion of it. My opinion is, my raw opinion is, no captains because they decline, and I know that's just stupid PTSD, but that's really what I think. And the chat that's saying that Pete's not as playing like a superstar, he absolutely is. You don't know what you're talking about. I mean, he's leading the league in OPS. So,
well, no, I think
he's playing like a
Peter's
superstar.
off to a great start, but calling him a superstar is a little strong. I kind of agree with that. I
Okay.
don't think Peter's a superstar. He's a star.
If he puts over 1,100 OPS for the whole year, he's a superstar. If he hits over 50 home runs at this clip,
talking for
he's
years.
a superstar.
We've been talking for years. About
I always said he's a star, but not a superstar. I always said that. So that's been my take. Because that hasn't changed. But this year, he's changing fucking opinions. That's why I brought that up.
That's fair.
I said the same about Lindor. But Lindor's almost crossing that bridge because he's doing it now 2 years in a row. All good. All good.
It's 420, y'all. Even Eddie got to light it up today.
No, I don't smoke.
I know you don't, bro.
I don't smoke. That stuff makes me paranoid, man. That's no good for me. No, thank you.
Yo, you know what, though? The best thing is, everybody, let me just, because, sometimes we kind of screw things up. You know what I'm saying?
What did we do today? What did we mess up today? I don't know. I mean, I got my Easter blazer on. You got your polar bear tee on. I even have 2 pins on today. I don't know if you could see them.
Because I'm not fucking going anywhere, bro. That's
got
what Peter
2 pins
Alonso was saying.
I got my 1993
You want to talk
pin
about
on.
captaincy and pins. I want to talk about Peter Alonso extension, but you don't want to talk about that. But we are talking about the 15
You want to talk about the Alonso extension? Stupid.
No, I don't. We're talking about the 15 and 7. I was being sarcastic, Eddie, because when I bring up certain things, you want to dismiss them, but today you want to get caught up on captains. Today you want to get caught up on captains. On the 15 and 7 Knicks.
I am a man of the people.
We have to name Francisco Lindor captain. God forbid we don't name Francisco Lindor.
I am a man of the people. I'm a man of the Mets community. And I believe
I'm not even gonna plug them, but blame this
Maker's Mark. I believe that as a man of the people, I have to bring it up for the people. Okay, I'm a voice for the people. Very simple. Y'all need that. Yeah, probably
this is what this is.
I probably do need fucking therapy. You're probably right about this. Watch when I'm cursing at a fucking screen at 2:00 in the afternoon. There's something wrong with me. So yeah, you're probably right about that. Oh yeah, let's hit Pete cleanup when he's having the best fucking year of his career. Great idea.
Oh my God, Eddie with this fucking 2 and 3 bullshit and
it's working.
But whatever.
It's working.
It's working. I don't know if that's working or eventually. I mean, listen, Soto's gonna get hit no matter where the hell we hit him. It could have been working a lot sooner.
No. Shout out to the over 500 people in the room rocking with us right now. Even though WrestleMania is on, even though there's a NBA game, Golden State versus Memphis, I believe. I'm not sure.
Well, this is like its own WrestleMania bout right here. This is like on the off card because you and I go at it like WrestleMania.
This is the undercard, you know.
This is an undercard.
The undercard version, you know. But we're trying to get these numbers up. So retweet, like, comment.
There you go.
If you're not subscribing to Hector's YouTube channel, get the fuck on there. And what are you doing? We're trying to do it out here. We're trying to make it.
There you go.
You guys got to hit that retweet button. Hit that like button. Tell us, fuck you, Eddie, if you don't like me either. I don't give a shit. It's all good.
There you go. Keep it real. Blunt thoughts.
Right.
Oh, unfiltered thoughts.
This is unfiltered.
Yes, unfiltered thoughts. I apologize.
Unfiltered.
As real as they come, baby. And shout out to Cindy, because Cindy was the first one that said that in Blunt Thoughts. Cindy used to always write, subscribe and follow Hector, whatever, boom, boom, boom. I apologize, Cindy. I'm not directly quoting you. And she would always finish it off. Hector is as real as it comes. And then Rudy threw that out there to me privately when we were trying to figure something out. And I said, Rudy, that's perfect. And I think I even told him, Cindy says that all the time about Blunt Thoughts, but we'll use it with the Mets Talk Unfiltered, which I think we even have. Let me see. There it is, with a slogan. It might be a little bit invisible, but we're going to put it up anyways.
Get it up. Get up the slogan.
Now, this right here is an uninformed hater comment if I've ever seen one. When you say that nobody respects Lindor, maybe the fan base or maybe some fans don't respect Nimmo. Like, or people don't respect Nimmo like they respect Lindor. That is an uninformed hater comment, in my opinion, D-Rose. Respect you, appreciate you. You've been a good supporter of Mets Talk Unfiltered, but that is the most asinine shit I've ever heard. You're not paying attention.
Yes.
You're not paying attention. We can argue whether you want them to be a captain or not, but don't tell me that that they don't respect them. That is nonsense. That is nonsense. You keep following along with Carlos. It's going to lead you down the wrong path. It's going to lead both of you to where you get blocked out of Mets. keep hating on my guy Nimmo. See what happens. Y'all keep it up. What you got for me, Eddie?
Man, I don't got much else. Again, I couldn't be happier as a Mets fan. That's what I'll say. I couldn't be more grateful to be a Mets fan right now because I needed this. I needed to have them to start out good, like the way they started out. And everything I thought preseason has come to fruition. I mean, guys like Beatty are struggling, guys like even Vientos, but he's coming out of it, struggling, and even Beatty's coming out of it. And I always thought that the Mets pitching staff was going to do it. I always believed in the starting rotation. Did I believe they're going to be superstars? No. But I believe they keep us in games, and they have. And the same can be said about the bullpen. Even though I have my issues with Diaz, I have my issues with Budo, but for the most part, this team is who I thought they were. And guys like I think Pete was going to start out this hot? No. But I did think something changed in him going back to that last year playoffs. I think that at bat changed him. So I'm very happy with where we are right now. Very happy, and I'm very grateful. And I'm also grateful to everybody that comes out to this show and supports. And I appreciate that. I really do. I think we both could say that.
So
We
do I.
appreciate the support, man.
I appreciate everybody except for D-Rails tonight. I don't appreciate D-Rails. As
Wow.
he says, nah, I'm kidding. Lindor and Nimmo are not on the same level. Lindor is a superstar. Nimmo is not. Again. Holy shit, this was bad. Again.
Nimmo's not a superstar. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that he is. But you guys are equating leadership with stardom, with superstardom.
True. Facts. It's two different things.
And it's not, I don't think they are equals. So, again, and we're going to agree to disagree. We're going to agree to disagree on that.
How about we talk about Acuna?
We can definitely talk about Acuna. Where do I vote?
Huh.
But before we go to Acuna,
You know what, Hector? I like the fact that you like Nimmo. I like it because not a lot of people do.
people don't know baseball.
His swing. Listen, if he starts coming around the way he does, listen, we're gonna have good things, man. Look at again. This team has been fucking great. They've been absolutely phenomenal, and they've been getting the job done. Bullpen, starting pitching, lineup. That's all I could ask for. And once this lineup really starts clicking, we're going to be up there with LA. We'll be up there with the best of the best, and that's all I want. I want a shot at versus these teams. I want a shot
for sure. As Dolo Supreme says, Hector, do you think? And we'll say Hector and Eddie. Do you think this team will need another gimmick, or it might be needed this year? This is what I say to that, and Eddie, you could add whatever you want to this, but I think every season writes its own story. I think last season was the story. That was the season of Grimace, Haktua, all the gimmicks. Seymour Wheeler,
oh my God, OMG,
Izzy Glizzy, OMG, all of that. But that was last season's story. Did we need those gimmicks? Maybe. It helped maybe keep the fans engaged where maybe they would have not stayed engaged. It helped to lighten the mood a little bit where we were like losing our freaking minds. But at the end of the day, it was the play on the field. And that was 2024 story. What I'm hoping for this year is that we write the story that we're writing right now. A story that has started where we have won 5 of the first 7 series, where we are 9-1 on home, where we have pretty much taken over the division and maybe never let it go. That's the kind of story that I'm looking for, but we don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't that be a great story? Where we run away with it, where we dominate, where we get into the playoffs as a favorite, and who the hell knows? But every season, in my opinion, writes its own story. I'm sorry, Eddie. Go
ahead. I couldn't agree more with that. I don't think the OMG thing was a gimmick.
No.
I think Iglesias came on, and I think he helped ease up that clubhouse tension because everybody was pressing. And he came up, and he came into the clubhouse, and he didn't give a shit. He didn't care. And that kind of, I think, just lightened the mood, and then the team started performing well, and everything just kind of came together. And Keith, shout out to Keith, Queens Baseball. Keith, if you guys already know Keith, kicking it with Keith. I was in a space with him the other night. We were talking, and he said the My Girl thing is seems to be taking off this year. And I said to him, I noticed women in the stands really singing along to that My Girl thing. And
Everybody, Eddie.
right, everybody. But when you see women into it, for me, it's different. You know, I'm married. When I bring my wife to a ball game, she don't give a shit about the game. She could care less about the fucking game. Yeah, my son, same thing. He don't give a fuck. He wants to see the mascots. He wants to see all that. But if I brought them to a ball game, I think they'd be into it.
Well, you're gonna have to bring him to City Field because you ain't gonna
Yeah.
get that in Miami or Tampa.
No, of course. And I'll be up there in July, and we'll link up. And
Oh hell yeah, you better.
you already know. So
No, for sure.
I don't think we need another gimmick.
No, we definitely don't need gimmicks.
No.
And I'm with you.
Good.
OMG was not a gimmick. It was organic. It just became the theme. OMG was the theme of 2024. I don't even think Grimace was an intentional gimmick.
No, it just happened.
They brought out Grimace throughout the first pitch. People that are psycho and pay attention to crazy nonsense started counting wins after Grimace. Next thing you know, what was it? 7 in a row. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
They didn't know. They brought it up to Nimmo in a post game one time, and he was like, "Really? Whatever. If that's what everybody wants to say, that is Grimace." You know what I'm saying? And they were like, "Fuck it, it's Grimace." You know what I mean? But we created that gimmick. If anything, the fan base. I've said it a million times. I was at that game. I like usual. I don't pay attention to who's throwing. I don't give a damn who's throwing the first pitch. If it was me, maybe I pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, I don't give a damn. Unless it's like a very special occasion, right? Doc Gooden retirement, Jared Strawberry retirement, Jersey retirement, all that stuff. That's different. You understand what I'm saying? But you know how many people throw out the first pitch before the game? It's about 15 to 25 people, bro. At
every game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
they're bringing them up, and then there's like one that is like, this is the official, whatever. The point is, I'm at the game, and it was that jackass JoJo who DMs me or tags me in a post, and he's like,
JoJo, the Braves fan.
Yeah.
Shout out to JoJo. I like JoJo.
Something about Grimace, and I'm like, what the hell is this jackass talking about now? Because he's always trolling.
Yeah, I like JoJo.
Grimace, whatever. And then I see, Grimace threw out the first pitch. And my first post, Eddie, was, this is perfect. Because right now, as Met fans, we all grimace when we watch this damn team. Because it stinks. Because at that point, we still stunk.
Oh, well, yeah, we were still under 500.
But then, like I said, they start winning. People start going crazy. They start cutting off wins, 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row, whatever the hell it was. And there's the Grimace gimmick. But I don't think, Rally Pimp, that's just us.
Yeah.
So people are like, the Mets always with these gimmicks. No, that's us. We react to this stuff. Maybe repeat, maybe Lindor is considered more as a captain because of availability. He's always in lineup, no days off, and very vocal. Que lo que de lo mío. Dime a ver de lo mío. I mean, Nimmo's not playing 162 games, but he's playing 152.
Yeah. Nimmo's there too.
I think, listen, and right now it's hard to defend Nimmo. He's gone through a tough stretch. Last season, Nimmo was great in this part of the year.
Yes.
After the All-Star break, he struggled, and yet still he got big hits. He still got big hits.
We
Down
need
the stretch there, those games against Philly in September, zip in the 6th inning. Who hits a home run, give us the lead? Brandon Nimmo. Who hits a double in the gap and give us the lead? Brandon Nimmo. When people want to talk about, Nimmo doesn't do anything in clutch situations. Nimmo doesn't do anything with running score. Come on, give me a break, man. Now, it's convenient to say that right now, and he's had a terrible year. Nimmo doesn't play defense. Nimmo can't get to no ball.
I'm better.
But when Nimmo goes out there and robs a home run today, what's everybody saying? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy's hurt. You want to tell me maybe he shouldn't be playing? Maybe he should have started a little bit later? Maybe he should have waited and start the season? I suggested this, and people wanted to chop my head off.
Right.
Because I was like, you know what? We don't need you to rush. We got a good enough team. We got Soto, goddammit.
100%.
But no, we have Pete. Because if it wasn't for Pete, this team would be 7-15 instead of 15-7. God damn it!
You're not kidding.
I'm kidding.
You're
I'm
not
kidding, but
kidding.
I'm not kidding.
You're not kidding.
Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got here? I'm just filling in, Eddie. Kind of don't want to let you guys go. It's been fun. And
Let's do the Acuna thing.
oh, you want to get into Acuna?
Yeah. Just want to bring up that. I want to give Acuna his flowers.
Right, and let me see if I can find, because you mentioned the post by Mets Muse, and I saw it also, and it has some good numbers. But we all know sometimes I don't pay attention to this because it's like, damn it, I know Acuna's been playing great lately. You feel me? I know Acuna's been playing great lately.
He's got an 8-game hitting streak. He's hitting to. Oh, if you want, I can read it off. I know you're trying to pull it. Let's pull it up though, so the fans can see it if we can.
Yeah, I just found one, but I think there's one that had a little bit more information in this because I just found one from Mets Muse.
Okay, even better.
But I think it has a little bit. No, but I think the one you were talking about I saw that one too, and I thought it had a little bit more information. Maybe not. But all right, fuck it. So we'll go with this one. Here it is. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, shout out to my guy Rudy. As you guys have noticed today, we haven't really had the graphics that we usually have or anything like that. It's Easter. Rudy's spending time with his family. You know, got to do what you got to do. Here we go. The fuck am I doing?
Here we go.
Here it is.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's okay.
I got you, bro. This guy's
hey,
so
bro,
amazing.
look at you.
Is that big enough for you?
That's perfect. My eyes are starting to go at my later age, man.
You see me reading glasses now, right?
Yeah.
Acuna over his 8-game hitting streak, 393 average, 1 RBI, 8 runs, 5 stolen bases. Every time Luis Angel Acuna scores a run, you can look for Carlos Ramos post talking about, I'm going to say it over and over. He says it over and over. I don't want to hear it from nobody. Luis Angel Acuna at the bottom of the lineup does things that nobody else can do. Look at the effect that he has, and he's right. He's right. But we've always known this. We've always known that if this guy can get on base, it's going to be havoc. And we'll see. But this is your thing. Go ahead. You really wanted to talk about this. Go ahead.
Oh, man, look, this is what we talked about in the beginning of the year, right? We talked about the platoon between Beatty and Acuna. And so far, it's been a one-way show. Initially, it was both of them were struggling. And, you know, it was a struggle. But you're starting to see now Acuna sort of separate himself. When he gets on base, like you said, he runs havoc. You know, what was the game where what was it? Where he stole third and he got thrown out, right? I don't know what game of the series that was. But
well, he didn't get thrown out. He actually stole third and he overslid. That was last night.
There you go.
He overslid, which I wasn't surprised. I knew eventually, I knew that was going to come to bite him because he does it all the time.
Yeah.
He's always sliding over the base. He needs to learn from. He needs to go take some lessons from my guy Marte, who's one of the best at being able to slide, stay on the bag, and then get up. Because another thing that I wish Acuna would take advantage of is when that ball gets thrown into center field, and a lot of times that happens because he comes in so violently that
the ball bounces.
Yeah, and the guy can't keep up with him, the ball, everything. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be able, like you said, get up and go. And I've been so impressed with Starling Marte that does that. And I always say, only 2 guys, and now 3 that I know that always did that. Ricky Henderson, Jose Reyes, Starling Marte.
Yeah.
That ball goes into the field. Those guys are at third base.
Goodbye. It's over.
I would love to see Luis Angel Acuna learn that. But first, learn how to stay in the damn bag. Because that just happened last night, Eddie. But if you pay attention, almost every time he slides at second base, it goes past the bag. Yeah. Yes. And he has to reach back, you know? But yeah, no.
Listen, man, I just wanted to give him his flowers, and I'm just going to say I'm proud. I'm proud of him doing what he's doing. And even Brett Beatty. You guys are all killing Beatty. Beatty's been coming around a little bit since.
Well, I was
That-
gonna
that
say
magic-
you said that he's been, but they both been doing well.
Right, that's what I'm
They
saying.
both- Beatty probably doesn't have as good of numbers or even maybe as long a hitting streak, but he had a couple of games in a row where he was getting hits, getting on base.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a little bit better. And guess what? What do we talk about? This stuff takes care of itself, bro. These guys are probably going to both be on the team. When McNeil's ready, they're probably going to send a Sokal down. They've already told you.
Who's going to send down?
I forget his first name. Sokal, the guy that played center field yesterday.
Right.
He's going to be the guy that go get sent down.
You're right.
They don't need another center fielder. They're more than perfectly fine with Tyrone Taylor there. And if they need to, they've already told you. They'll play Acuna there. So for those that were asking for Acuna, they have said they are looking at him as an option. We know they'll put Nimmo there. We saw they played McNeil in the minors there, and they've already told us that McNeil's an option. But they're going to play Taylor almost every day.
Which I'm cool with.
Which I'm cool with, too. Just give me a big hit every now and then. Yeah. Once these monsters in the top of the lineup start hitting, and if Acuna and Vientos get involved, and then Alvi and McNeil come back, I don't need Taylor to do anything but catch baseballs out there, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But it's probably going to be both Beatty and Acuna to stay on. They're probably going to both stay on. And obviously, listen.
And now that Beatty can play third, it's a good thing, too.
Yeah, well, he's always been able to play third.
No, I know, but like we're using him there.
Yeah.
It's a great problem to have, fellas. It's a great, and for all the fans, you should know that. It's an absolute great problem to have.
Yep.
Cindy says she loves Nimmo. Gimmicks are not organic.
Huh?
Cindy says she likes Nimmo in left field, basically.
Yeah, nobody wants him in center field, and it's not going to be like he's going to permanently go there.
In spot starts, I could take it.
It'll be a spot start. It'll be maybe through 5-6 innings, and then they'll put Taylor to finish it out. If it's a blowout, maybe they say, you know what, today's a good day to have Acuna finish it out, give him some exposure out there. Start with Nimmo, finish with Acuna, get wash his face off his feet, you know. So it's not like definitive or anything like that. It's just real quick for a game or two. And that's a guy's name, Jose Azocal. Jose's a sucker. Now, let me stop.
See you later, Jose.
Hey, Ramos says, thank you, Eddie. Glad Acuna's getting his flowers tonight. Of course.
Listen, well, man, I'm going to highlight who I'm going to highlight, bro. We're going to keep it a buck here. There's no agendas. It is what it is.
The Yankees always get more accolades because of their tradition and championships, like Anthony was saying. Williams and even Jeter probably won more Gold Gloves than they should have. Possibly. I don't even want to get into this conversation because I had this conversation Friday night with my homie Kathy, because she was on this thing, and I'm like, I don't pay attention to this stuff, and at the same time, like, the Mets are who they are. Sometimes we get upset at the media, at other fan bases. Oh, they want to just use the Mets as a punching bag in it. Well, the Mets have given them the material to do it with. The Mets have given them that material.
Exactly. And not anymore, though.
No. And this is what I was trying to get to. That I was telling her, like, yes, we feel good right now because we feel we're on the way to cutting that off. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. And little by little, like, we get our props now. Listen, at least we're always in the conversation. Whether we sting, whether they're hating on us, we are always in the conversation. And that's
we're talked about.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, like, and this is with all my teams, it got to a point with the Knicks. It's at that point right now with the Giants. It's been at that point with the Mets, where it was like, you know what? I'm done being listen, and I hate these other teams that, you know, rivals, whatever. But it got to a point where I hated my own teams more. I hated the Knicks for being inept.
Of course.
I hated the Mets for being inept. I can't stand the Giants right now for being inept.
Right.
figure it the hell out, and all of that nonsense stops. That's the way I see it, though.
I agree wholeheartedly with you. Just listen. Here's my motto. Just start win series. That's all that matters. Win every series you possibly can. All right. And the best part is when you lose a series, make up for it. And that's what they did right here against the Cardinals. We lost that series against the Twins, and we took 4 in a row against the Cardinals. I couldn't ask for more. That is what you do. That is what good teams do. That's a separation. You have to be a separator. Everybody's close in baseball. What do you do that makes the difference between good, great, and elite? And right now, we're between great and elite.
Yep.
That's what I want. Elite.
Absolutely.
Be the best.
Yep. Appreciate you, George. And listen, I thank you guys. And now I thank Eddie for joining me. And we all make the shows. It's not me. We all make these shows. But to your point, yes, Soto's appreciation of Mets fans is awesome. Absolutely.
Yes, it
Absolutely. Because, that's something that sometimes goes overlooked, gets overlooked or whatever. But we pour our heart and soul into this too. A lot of people sacrifice to be able to go to these games.
Of course.
Whether it be financially, physically, mentally, whatever the hell it is, bro.
Time
all kinds of people go to these games in all kinds of conditions. You understand what I'm saying? So when they appreciate that, yeah, that's good. That's definitely good. Santos says it always takes care of itself. Beta Cunha will stay. Azoka gets sent down for McNeil. Senga when Alvarez is here. Young when Nunez is ready. Yep, pretty much. And I was thinking like today was going to be Senga's last game. Azoka played his only game yesterday. But again, it may take a couple of more days than I expected. But those two guys will be here soon, and those will probably be the moves for sure.
Before we wrap up, how's the Phillies series looking?
Yes.
Pitching matchup wise.
No, I was definitely going to get into that before we wrapped it up. As we know, again, shout out to Rudy, who's not able to join us and help us out today. He's the one that makes us look good, as Eddie and I just know how to talk shit. But we go into tomorrow, and you probably say that the Phillies will have the edge on this, at least in the odds books' minds, as they have Aaron Nola on the mound. But Aaron Nola, who is 0-4 with a 6.65 ERA, against Tyler McGill, who is 2-2 with a 1.40 ERA. But that is your Monday matchup of the 15-7 New York Mets, who will welcome the 13-9 Philadelphia Phillies, who will look to maybe take over first place in this series, right? They could do it with a sweep.
Yeah, well, fuck them. Fuck Philadelphia.
Then we'll go into Tuesday night where we will have our guy, Griffin Canning, on the mound. And I've been wondering what they're going to do. Because the next time that we needed a sixth starter is actually tomorrow. But they're going to Griffin Canning, if I'm not mistaken, on 5 days, as Griffin Canning last pitched on Thursday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So he's actually pitching on the 5th day.
Right.
And we know that Mendoza had said before they were willing to do that with guys like Canning and maybe Holmes every now and then. Maybe they might even do it with Peterson. But always keeps Senga on a 6th day. It'll be interesting to see who gets that start. Also, there is an off day coming up on Thursday. So that may help.
Okay.
That's probably it as we go to Wednesday. But again, Griffin Canning, 2-1 with a 3.43 ERA. As Philadelphia will send to the mound, Christopher Sanchez.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When you're done, I'm going to just say something real quick.
Christopher Sanchez, 2-0 with a 2.96 ERA, and that's your matchups for Tuesday night. Go ahead before we.
They got a couple of lefties, if I'm not mistaken, Philly. Don't they?
He's a lefty.
Okay.
He's a lefty.
So that means we're going to see Marte. We're going to see Acuna.
You would think, although it hasn't always been like that, but yeah, you would think. Yep.
Especially with Mendy.
Right.
I wanted to say this. If there was ever a time where Tyler McGill needs to step up, it's tomorrow night's game. if you want to send a message to Philadelphia, you got
Fucking
to
message to Philadelphia. If he wants to send a message to the team, to Met fans, that he really has figured something out, go out there and ball out. And yeah, as a team, then we'll send a message to Philadelphia. That's where I thought you was gonna go.
Yeah.
If he wants to show that he's really that dude and he's gonna be a part of this damn rotation, I agree with you. Right here, right now. And then yes, it'll be a part of sending a message to Philadelphia for sure.
100%.
Yeah. We need that. And then Wednesday night we got our old friend Zach Wheeler against David Peterson.
Okay.
So both those guys, Peterson and Canning, will be going on 5 days.
That's a good matchup. It's a good matchup.
It's a hell of a matchup.
That'll be a good ball game. It's just again, you two of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball going head to head.
Right. And Wheeler, who's 2-1 with a 3.73 ERA, and Peterson with a 1-1 with a 3.27 ERA.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. But Tyler McGill, I need game one from you, brother. I need 6 innings out of you. I need one or two runs given up at most, and I need a couple strikeouts. Okay, I need at least 5-6 strikeouts over there.
Right, that play at third base was not a steal. It was a Arenado.
Correct. Good call.
Yeah, he was like in the gap in the hole or whatever, kind of in a quasi shift.
Yeah.
And Acuna went. But
Jeff's
still,
always on the money. He's got a great memory. Good job, Jeff.
Yeah. Still, the same point remains. He needs to learn how not to slide past the damn base.
Goes without saying.
He needs to learn how to not get past the damn base. But to Carlos's point about the speed and being a game changer, not everybody could even attempt to do that. But because of his speed, he's able to attempt to do that. Now, just when you make it stay safe.
Exactly. All right.
But I think that's it. I think there's a nice, quick, tight show. Just looking through a few of the comments here, see if anything that stands out. Anytime anybody says that I'm right, I'm gonna pull it up, even if I don't remember what the hell it's about. So I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. My guy Ant, shout out to my guy Ant. I hate that podcast who says fuck the Philly.
Goes without saying.
And is also very, very, very opposed to the 6 starters. But you're just gonna have to get over it, my guy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's just a battle. I forget what it was that I said. I'm in the losing battle. You're in the losing battle when it comes to the 6 starters and all that good stuff. Just be happy
because it works.
Just be happy that they're not going 6 innings too, because I know that was something that had you frustrated.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was the 3 guys. It was McGill, Drew Smith, Diaz. I believe those were the 3.
It was more than that, wasn't it? It was like 5 guys.
McGill, Drew Smith.
I thought it was 5 guys.
Diaz.
There was somebody else in there. Another nondescript guy. But I think it was 5 guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I thought it was 3 or 4, but whatever. All good.
Does anybody, real quick before we go, does anybody remember the no-hitter that McGill started that Diaz finished? How many guys it was? Do you remember the guys?
I know it was Drew Smith and Diaz, and I know it was McGill.
Right.
I think what year was that? Was that 2022?
You got me, bro.
I think it was 2022. You could just Google it. 2023. Robertson was on that team in 2023. It could have been Robertson. I don't know about 2023. That was in 2022.
Cindy says 5 pitchers in that no-hitter.
5 pitchers. So let's think back. Who was the setup man in 2022? Was Ottavino on that team? No.
I think he might have been in that. Or was it Robles? Was Robles part of that shit, that bum?
Nah, Robles wasn't in that. Let me,
There was another Spanish reliever.
let me Google this shit.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
I got you. It was, of course, I gotta fucking pull up the wrong thing. That's gonna fucking. It was Tyler McGill. Oh my gosh. Drew Smith, Smelly Joeli. Remember Smelly Joeli?
Oh, it's Rodriguez.
Joely
Right.
Rodriguez, Seth Lugo, and Edwin
Seth
Diaz.
Lugo. There we go. He was our setup, man. Forgot about that.
Right.
5 fucking guys, man. That's all right.
Those were the guys. April 29th, 2022.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't 2023. All right.
And it is now April 20th. So almost a year to the day.
3
Tomorrow is gonna
3
be a week shy of the year anniversary. Just about a week and a day shy of the year anniversary tomorrow. Tyler McGill will have another chance to start a combined no hitter, or dare we say a solo no hitter? Who the hell knows?
All right, let's not get crazy here. It's fucking Tyler McGill.
Oh my God, Eddie,
All
you
right,
ruined all the fun, bro.
Come on.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm just saying. I told you he's got to go out and have a good start. I'm not asking him to throw no fucking hitter, man. Come on, what are we doing? But I'm good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the series. I was trying to end it with a nice little funny thing, but Eddie had to ruin it. Nah, man, let's go out there and win the series now. I know we'll talk, but I'm not sure we'll have a Mets Talk Unfiltered on Thursday. Eddie might be away. Maybe I'll get a guest. Maybe I just do a blunt thoughts, but you'll see my ugly mug on Thursday. Just I'm sorry that
one way or another, there'll be some Mets coverage on Thursday. Don't know my situation.
Just we might not have Eddie. I don't know if he's awesome, George. He's okay. He's okay. We tolerate him.
What will you take? I don't know what that means.
The no hitter, the combined no hitter from.
Of course, I'll take a fucking no hitter. What are you kidding you? I could be the third one in team history.
Right. But no. Yeah, man. Let's go out there. Let's keep winning series. That's the point. Let's keep winning series. Let's make a statement. Let's make a statement overall in the series, and let's start it with Tyler McGill. But you guys already know. We'll see you on Thursday. Maybe me and Eddie. Maybe me by myself. But you will get some kind of blunt thoughts, whether it's Mets Talk Unfiltered or whether it's blunt thoughts. On that note, Eddie, it's always great. Love doing this with you.
Appreciate it.
Everybody in the chat, everybody watching, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys.
Keep up the support. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you share. If you're not, if you want to come over and subscribe, that'll be just for me. But you're really helping both of us, right? Because I do share it on YouTube. I share this show too. And it does get a lot of views over there too. So I appreciate you guys. But yeah, see you next time. And as always, LFGM.
Of course. Let's fucking go.